Once again, the off spin doing the trick. Mahedi Hassan into the sides and very quickly with the 2 wickets. That in quick fashion, Bangladesh have picked up 3. Mishara goes for 5, Sri Lanka 65 for 3. And just on that, we'll all take a little bit of a breather for drinks.
किधर बेटी नहीं हो भैया
And Mishara was the last man to follow, and now 65 for 3. It doesn't look so good.
Yeah, they got off to a fly until Sanka picked out deep backward square to perfection. Didn't quite get all of it. You could tell by the emotion dusty in there. But the off spinner came in. Kusal Mendes pulled out in a similar position, going for the sweep to the longer side, and then the reverse going horribly wrong. Off spinner in Mahedi Hassan has to. Just out of the power play, Bangladesh have held the scoring and more importantly picked up wickets at regular intervals.
You got to feel for Shariful because he was the recipient of some high quality shots played against him. Not necessarily of bad balls or loose balls. Patham actually hit one shot of leg delivery for 6. Got to find the fielder. No, that's going to be 4 runs. It's taken a while for this boundary. 22 balls. And good way to get off the mark for former captain Tasu Sharaka.
And he does well. He's picked up the shorter length. He's dropped it short, Mahedi. And he's curled off to the back foot and placed it perfectly. Two fielders position on that boundary, but just away. Outfield also very quick, and timing gets you runs.
Very deceptive in the way he contributes. Tasu Sharaka, you might think that he's not quite finding his flow, looking a little scratchy, but suddenly an innings of some substance. Striker 150, 160 if need be, can bowl 2 or 3 overs for his side. Often we've compared Kusal Pereira's batting style with Sana Jayasuriya, but this is a very rare scenario where we've got Kushal Pereira outside and Sana Jayasuriya in the dressing room.
Once again, the matchup working. Wasn't stable on impact. You can still see his body weight falling behind. That's why not in control. Couple of wickets to the off spinner. Just out of the power play before that boundary, 19 deliveries, just the 12 runs, and the two important wickets as well. And that's just, you feel Bangladesh slightly on top.
This pitch as well is not one where you come in and start belting the ball around. Just a little slow until the dew comes in. 72 for 3 now. Security that's been given to assume to bowl from this end. That's one way to exploit a long boundary. A little dab and couple of runs. Good cricket from Kusal Pereira.
Very good and very smart. Aware that the three fielders on that leg side boundary will all coming from the fence. If they can just dip it into that leg side. Well, this is important. A contest, India versus Pakistan tomorrow, the first in the Super 4. Be interesting to see what combinations are played. We'll be back in action at the Dubai International Stadium, 6:30 p.m. local time.
It's going to be take 2. This is Asia Cup. They are leading 11-3 at the moment in the last 14 encounters. You'll find the fielder.
Just on the two that Kusal dabbed into the leg side. Now, Sri Lanka's dot ball percentage with the bat is the least. Only 32% of dot balls is what they play. So in amongst the boundaries, they maneuver the field and pick up those ones and twos. Was also a feature against the game in Afghanistan. Only 29 dot deliveries in that match-winning chase.
Good point you raise. And again, you can see the urgency. They won the second. You make the observations and I make the explanations as to why that happens. And I believe because these guys are such supreme athletes. And you saw that with Pathum Nisanka, Musal Mendes as well, when they were hitting the boundaries. They're still very keen to run that extra run. And that comes from just having that kind of fitness. A la Virat Kohli, even in these conditions, very happy to get that extra run. This is another good over from Nasoom. Been terrific this tournament.
On that point as well, the nature of the surfaces, you and I were at the pitch report, slightly slower, so it's not easy when you come in. And just a confirmation of what we're talking about. They bat the least amount of dot balls. Extremely underlooked feature sometimes when you're trying to go hard and put runs on the board. So many opportunities for ones and twos. I saw that India-Pakistan game, so many dot deliveries. 63, if I remember correctly, is what Pakistan played.
I was hoping we'll see Pakistan there right at the bottom. Guruj. 11 was gone, 78 for 3. can see there 4 sixes and 5 fours, so 9 boundaries, but the run rate is still 7.09. Very quick down the leg side. Good take by Litan Dash.
Yeah, this has been an interesting matchup because now for Kusal Pereira hitting into the shorter side. However, Mehdi Hassan firing in, whether he gets one to just turn outside the off stump.
Just a very wily customer. First time we saw him, Mehdi Hassan Miraj was in Sri Lanka in the Asia Cup. He just knows how to handle things here. Now Kusal Pereira is on strike, but he'll have to hit against the spin to get a 6 on that short boundary on the leg side. Just watch him when he bowls to Kusal Pereira, the length that he'll bowl, the speed as well. So he's a very street smart cricketer, very sharp cricketing mind. The leg side for Shanaka for the long boundary, happy to concede singles.
There's one boundary that came after 22 deliveries, the one Hassan Shanaka got off the mark to into the leg side. Mehdi Hassan dropped it short. Once again, 12 deliveries now without a boundary. Just feel maybe something just got to give.
Again, you see that line that is bowled. The leg side boundary is the worry for him. They've got 3 boundary riders. It's a very short boundary for a guy who's so powerful as Pereira is. But watch the line. Not obviously wide as well. Just a wily customer. Another Mehdi Hassan they've got, who's Mehdi Hassan Miraj, who plays Test cricket, but this is the guy they favour for white ball cricket, and you can see why.
Now, slightly different as well, slightly rounded arm, tries to fire it in and bowling well north of 90 Ks on a regular interval. Not allowing either of the two batters to get under the ball for that big shot. At the moment, just ones and twos is the storyline.
Had a game at Abu Dhabi where the pitch was excellent. I think the pitches in Abu Dhabi for every game has been good. This one is not as easy for batting. Not easy for a new batter to come in. Now wickets have come to full length deliveries. Mostly that leg. 83 for 3 Sri Lanka.
Shorty falls back. The choke is on. Bangladesh have been brilliant. The first 6 overs, the power play, Sri Lanka 53 for 1. They were running away with it. But since then, scoring under 5. Dasun Shanaka promoted up the order because there's a long line of left-handers to break that up. They've clawed themselves back into the game very nicely, Bangladesh. 6! That's a long way. Short boundary or long boundary. It's a massive one. Sri Lanka need a few of those. That's because Bangladesh has created so much of pressure. Sri Lanka had a brilliant power play, but then Bangladesh will come back so strongly. And this was the release of pressure. Short delivery. We talk about the shorter boundary. And brilliant timing. Went the distance. 89 for 3. Shanaka and Kusal Pereira. They need to steady things up for Sri Lanka. Well, the spinners have almost pulled out. Well, big over. That was off Shoriful, the third one. Atum Nisanka took 3 boundaries and then not many runs, hardly a boundary scored till Dasun Shanaka came out there. Actually, Kusal Pereira faced 13 balls without a boundary. Chuck Mediason's bowled out. Nasum's bowled 3. So just a one more spin. This could be tight. But they make it easy. My point here is they got to go to the part-timers in terms of spin. Sri Lanka have only struggled against spin against the faster bowlers. They've scored a lot more freely. I'm not talking only of this Asia Cup. Going back a couple of years, they've only gone at a runner ball against spin. Yeah, that pace off from Shoriful. Yeah, they've struggled. You're right. Sri Lanka doesn't really sweep too much. Kusal Mendes plays that well, got himself out today playing the sweep shot, but against Afghanistan, controlled it nicely. For some reason, against the Bangladeshi spinners, that sweep shot not effective. That time, down. Oh! What happened there? He took a step back. Mustafizur, that's a massive one. He charged and then he thought he's not gonna make it and he bails out. But I'll tell you what, even he knows he should have given it a go. I'm very sure he would have got it. He goes backwards in fact, whereas should have been trying to get underneath it. Geez, the reactions tells the story. You keep picking up those wickets. That's the way you can control the run scored. They'll get a single. They got 9 off the over. 92 for 3 at the end of 13. Got it at his forehead. Not in control at all. Kusal Pereira. Tafizur, you got to give it a go. .92 for 3. Down to the last 7 overs. Sri Lanka need to stabilize. That has been the problem. They lost wickets close to each other. There was a time that they had 2 new batters, so spinners have looked to create pressure. Pace is back. Mustafiz goes past the outside edge straight away. A bit of bounce. 7 overs to go. 10 and over from here is what Sri Lanka will need. Get themselves just above 160. There is plenty of batting though. Asalanka coming to Mendes. Asaranga Velalage. They just don't want new batters coming in because they seem to be taking just a bit of time to get themselves in. You need to take these if you're going to keep chipping away. Such a critical phase. Just a bit of bounce that time, going past that outside edge. Mustafiz tends to mix it up very well. Previous ball was pace on. This one, pace off that time. Kusal Pereira has been very, very quiet. 12 of 14. Is to take a chance here to get that innings going again. This is the moment. Mustafizur against the shot. leg side boundary. 3 in the deep on the leg side. He thought he had 4. He's got to pull one fielder in. Long on, deep square leg, deep fine leg. Third man, deep point on the cover boundary.
He's left with 4 balls in the over. Kusal Pereira 12 of 14. Dasun Shanaka has been the one who's looked to take the bowling on. Kusal Pereira on strike. Again, this time he gets the gap. That was space off. Dragged it from outside the off stump. That's a welcome boundary for Sri Lanka at this stage.
And also for Kusal Pereira to get going. This was quite predictable what Kusal Pereira would do. I mentioned the shorter boundary. He's got to get it there. He was waiting for it. The moment the pace was not on offer, he runs the wrists over to get it away from deep square leg.
Mustafiz is very clever with that slower delivery. Hardly any change of action, but Kusal Pereira picking it quickly. It's a misses. Now they're asking for a catch, and that's given. Kusal Pereira, now he's going to have a word. I'm wondering whether he'll refer it. He looks surprised.
Well, this type of one, you know if you're nicked it or not. So he's not reviewed it straight away. It's taken his time, but he's asked the question.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for caught behind. On-field decision is out. I've checked the feed delivery. Move on to front on, please. Okay, ball is close to the bat. Ultra, please. Keep rolling, keep rolling. There is a clear spike and the ball is next to the bat. I don't see any gap between bat and ball. Bat and ball going back to Asif on field. Asif, stay with your decision of out. You're on screen, signal out now.
Right, so that's the reason why Bangladesh appealed straight away. Kusal Pereira referred it, but there was a nick. So Sri Lanka, they lose their 4th. Bangladesh striking at important times. Out for 16 of 16 balls in the 14th over, 97 for 4. He comes out at a critical stage of the innings, 97 for 4 into the 14th over. Sri Lanka scoring at little over 7 runs. We were talking about a 160 target, so need to go at about 11 runs from here. But before that, there's a lot of work to be done. Lanka needs to stabilize this, and how do you do that? You do it with a partnership. That's what he's got in his career so far, Charita Salaka.
He's been a little quiet the last 4-5 T20 internationals.
It's off the mark. Just waiting for it.
Useful hand against Afghanistan. Not a big knock, but impactful runs. Strange review though. That was quick. Given, and just to ask your partner, this type of nick you generally know as a batter.
In fact, Kusal Pereira just walked away and then looked surprised. But what we saw in terms of the nick, that was a big one.
Ideally 11 and over, 165.
One ball to go in the over. Take to the fielder. It's a dot. It's a good over. 6 runs and a wicket. 98 for 4. $98 for 4. So starts for Sri Lankan batters. Pathum Nissanka, Kusal Mendis. So it's going to be Asalanka on strike. So the left arm spinner Nazum. Into his last over. Run the first run hard. They'll be happy. In fact, they'll only get one because it was played too well.
Their last over for Nasum. Beautiful, he's got an over. He was taken too by the openers, but the spinners, along with Tuskin and Mustafizur, have been outstanding.
Chanaka. He's got those men on the leg side boundary, extra cover long off. Not on the boundary, goes a sweep and gets it behind square leg. And the 100's up for Sri Lanka.
Well, coming in at 5, he's batted brilliantly well. With not many runs coming his team's way, he's played a few wonderful shots. And this one is basically taking a chance. It's bowled on the stumps. He goes across and he knows he cannot afford to miss it. He hits it so well, but not as well as this. This is hit so hard, goes a long way. Second 6 for Dasun Shanaka.
Well, he's in there. He's in that side for this purpose and he's doing it perfectly. Striking at over 150. 2 4s and 2 6s. Just what Sri Lanka needs at this stage. Going into the 15th over, they need to be in a stable place to try and launch the last 5.
Look at the distance, 101 meters. Dasun Shanaka at his best. Sri Lanka have missed this Dasun Shanaka for quite a while.
And he's made 28 of 18. 2 4s and 2 6s. That time a dot.
Nicely bowled it wider. Try and drag it if you want to. The spotlight on Dasun Shanaka.
2 balls in the over left. Looks to sweep and good fielding. Good fielding. Swept it off his leg stump and found the man at short fine leg.
That was flying. Again, fired at the stumps. Calculated chances taken by Shanaka.
Right, last ball of the over. He gets it on the full. And where has it gone? Long enough. It's 6. Big over. 17 runs off it. 115 for 4. Well, that was the over Sri Lanka was after. They needed a big over. And especially going into the last 5 overs, they got a set batter. Shanaka 34 on 21. Asalanka has a role to play here. Now,
What about this? Has he cleared it? I think he has. That's a good start. We talk about the shorter boundary, and that's perfectly executed. Three sixers in the last 5 balls have got Sri Lanka back on track. This is where he likes it, Charita Salanka. And the first ball of Tuskin's new spell is put under pressure straight away. 5 overs of seam, that's what Bangladesh have. 2 to Tuskin, 1 to Shoriful and 2 to Mustafizur. That was pace on. Sri Lanka enjoyed it. That was pace off and 4. Very well done. Waited for it. Lovely pivot and worked it behind square leg. Slower delivery, he had to wait. Nicely controlled. Maybe Shoriful got that timing wrong. Timing of the dive. But both batters, they had to come in and take control. They sure have done that. Playing a miss outside the off stump. Well, this is the momentum Sri Lanka has been looking for. They've been choked by the spinners. He hit that powerfully, Dasun Shanaka. Short boundary, got down on one knee, made sure that he got it on the full. Long levers swinging through the line of the ball was Shanaka. Then what about Charita Salanka? The 6 of the first ball and then that boundary. Again, face off this time over mid-off. Not great timing. They'll come back for 2. You're with the feel that he set deep point on the boundary, wideish third man. He's going to be bowling the angle across. Last over, Sri Lanka really needed that. A big over to break the shackles. Big sixer to follow up that boundary, and then that was the last ball. Flat and hard. Yeah, that was the over they were after. They needed a big one. They needed the momentum back. And that over, and now this over, 12 runs. Sri Lanka's rate of scoring over 8 runs and over. 2 balls in the over. 3 fielders in the circle behind square. Goes slower, wider. That's the plan. He's got a deep third. He's got a deep cover. And also Tuskin knows that the leg side boundary to the left-hander is the shorter one. He'll go wide and full. Forced to bowl this line after Sri Lanka hit him for a 6 and a 4 of the first 2 balls. He's got to react and go defensive. 31 of 13, Shanaka, Sri Lanka, both playing their part in it. They're almost matching each other. Last ball of the over. They've got 13 runs in the over. Another single. It's another very good over. They've got 14 off it. They're down to the last 4. Sri Lanka, 129 for 4.
Outstanding batting. 31 runs off the last 2 overs has really kicked him into this last little bracket. One thing that Sri Lanka have done so far in this edition of the Asia Cup, they've been going at 11.2 runs per over in the last 5 overs, compared to Bangladesh going at 8.1 with the batting in the last 5. So this is a a game-breaking area for Sri Lanka. And it looks like they're on track at the moment to try and do exactly the same sort of thing to make sure they get this up towards the 170 mark. If they go 12-0 from here, they get to 177. 10 gets into 169. A couple of rovers like the last couple we've had could go past the 180 mark. Beautifully bowled. Mr. Fizz has been superb so far. Really has been brilliant.
Yeah, Bangladesh desperately will try to find a bowler who can break this partnership. Partnership have been outstanding. It's simply brilliant. 32 of just 15. And they'll be hoping bowler in action. Fizz delivers the good.
Been really impressive so far, but this is the hard yards. Driving through extra cover region. Going to be able to come back and double up for 2 more. Shanaka has been amazing. 37 off 24. Strike rate of 154 so far. Doing exactly what he wanted to do when he arrived at the crease. Sri Lanka. No slouch either. 15 off the 7 he's faced. Got that run rate over the 8 mark now. Certainly fell considerably up the first 4 or 5 overs. Driving hard down the ground. There is protection. Just going to be the 1. This looks like it's going to be a terrific game. This, the first of the Super Fours. We've got an amazing game tomorrow, of course. The second of the Super Fours. DP World Asia Cup 2025. Match number 14. What a beauty. India versus Pakistan. On air, 6:30 local time. Here in Dubai, in this magnificent stadium. Good first half of the over from Mr. Fizzer. Just 3 runs conceded so far. A little bit leg side, but just tickled around the corner for 1.
Yeah, quite a few boundaries have come in the last couple of overs. We've seen especially Shanaka picking up those big shots down the leg side, 3 6s and 2 4s. He's been absolutely brilliant with the bat. His job is not only to make sure that they put a little bit of pressure on the batter and pick up a wicket, but also if he can create the chances on the way by not giving away too many boundaries. Not a single boundary in this over. 4 in the first 4 deliveries, and he's back on strike.
It's a tough call with a short boundary leg side now for Shanaka. This crowd is just building up really nicely. It's great to see as well at the Dubai International Stadium. Looking to go offside, slicing it away. Oh, it's almost a beauty. It's almost a magnificent catch. Great effort. Mr. Fizzer at one stage thought he was going to snaffle that. I hope he's going to be okay with his back.
It was a great attempt from Shamim Hussain. In the end, he made it. He got underneath the ball, but couldn't latch on to it. What an attempt. It was the cutter. Yes, a roll of the fingers. They went after it, didn't pick up the slower delivery. Have a look at that attempt. Would have been a sensational one.
It's a very good follow-up delivery as well. End of the over, just 6 from it, 135 for 4. It's crunch time now. 11 and over, gets to 168. Surely they'll be talking about the 170 mark, I would have thought, with Shanaka playing like he is. Sri Lanka can do something very similar as well. A partnership 38 off just 20 balls, and Shoreful back into the attack. None for 31 of his 3. Changing ends. Bowling wide, led off stump and just trapped at the last minute. One thing that Sri Lanka have done really well so far is they've been targeting this short boundary. It really is going to be a big part of this game today. Just 62 metres on that leg side. And they've had a clear plan, there's no doubt about it. Any opportunity they've had, they've been working hard towards that shorter boundary. Beautiful bowling from Suraful.
They had the option of throwing the ball to one of the part-timers. Remember, he's gone for 31 in the first 3 overs that he has bowled, but Little Kumar Das has backed Shariful Islam. That's the drop catch, would have been a stunner. Shamim Hussain in the previous over. Though close, yet so far.
Steer his body
What is
twist for
this?
that one. He tried to grab it on the second opportunity. The
So
2
using
singles of the
the
first 2 balls, that's top stuff from Suraful. Shorter boundary and down. Full toss.
Now both the batters
Bhai
have
sahab.
got a life here. The last one was a
Ready
very
ko
difficult
ta.
one. This one a little bit easier. We went straight on to him. Tawheed Ridoy, low full toss wide
Good
outside the off stump.
shot.
Look at the reaction from the fans. In and out.
I think there were 2 disappointed players away and in fact 3, Suraful as well. Sri Lanka. That's going to be called a wide. Certainly targeting that long boundary.